Who would have imagined leaving the marina with such a wonderful sea and blue sky that the storms were about to trap us? Let's go back time a little. It all started in Alicante. I'm Stéphanie, and this is Valéry. In 2020, we found this abandoned sailing boat, a Vauquier Centurion 42, seriously damaged. We started the refit by making her a new keel. We spent 2 whole years doing renovation on the hull in the south of France. After all this time on boatworks, we splashed Oriyo and began sailing tests. Then we untied the lines and left France. In the second season, we share with you every week on Friday our sailing tips and our journey. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, give us the thumbs up. Find us as well on Instagram. To get more content and real-time news, join our team and become a Patreon. Alicante is a big city, with lots of concrete buildings and noisy streets. But if you start wandering in it, you will find treasures. Alicante is in fact full of great avenues, cute little alleys, charming squares, and lively neighborhoods filled with cafes and restaurant terraces where residents gather for a bite. All of this activity is overhung by an ancient castle from where the view above the sea and the city is stunning. Looking closer, we found an area looking like a small village hung against the hill spared by time. We lost ourselves in its alleys, gazing at the colored small houses, driving us into the genuine town of dwellers. We spent for sure an awesome time discovering this city, and we live with lots of great pictures in our heads.
So we are leaving Alicante. What a nice day. It wasn't really planned to stay that long, but it was nice to discover this city, and we enjoyed it a lot. And I got the best ice cream ever. It's definitely going in my top 5 ice creams here.
As you can see, Alicante is a big city.
So we left Alicante about 6 hours ago. So far we only did, well, motoring.
Again?
Yeah, again. It's like, it was, the forecast said that we were supposed to get something like 15 knots of winds. So we were supposing to be sailing, but of course there was no wind and we had to use the engine the whole time, which was kind of boring. Now we only have 8 nautical miles to go. Well, we just turned off the engine and we are actually sailing. So this is nice. The sun is not set for now. It's 4:30 in the afternoon. If we are heading to an anchorage, hopefully it'll be okay. We won't have any waves in it, so we can stay for tonight at this anchorage. It is the anchorage is located at about 20 nautical miles at the north of Cartagena, where we'll be going to tomorrow.
Just before the sunset, we finally got a tender light wind pushing us forward nicely. Hoisting full sails up, we enjoyed this incredible sailing, smooth, peaceful, following slowly the nautical miles to the south, until...
Tricky sailing day today. We basically just used the engine, except for, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes with just sails. The forecast said that we were supposed to get like 15 knots of winds, but we haven't. It was not very comfortable. We spotted an anchorage for tonight, but when we arrived at this anchorage, we noticed that the charts weren't quite accurate and that there was less water under the keel that we thought we had, that the charts actually said. So instead we took a buoy here because it's a protected area. It's the little island called Isla Grossa, just in front of the anchorage that we spotted first. Before taking this buoy, just for I think a couple of hours, because we will be leaving very, very early. It is now like 7 p.m. and we are thinking about leaving midnight or 2 or 3 in the morning. When we decided first to go to Cartagena anyway, we spotted quite a gale in front of us, and it was said by the forecast that we might have a gale there. So we didn't take any chances, and we found those buoys in this next to this island. It is, well, actually quite beautiful, and we have quite of a nice sunset, but we are not sure that the gale is coming to us, but you know, you never know exactly what it's going to do, and when you hesitate, it's better to just stop where you know that you'll be safe, better than just keep sailing and probably meet a gale that you don't want to go into. So that's it for tonight. We'll just get a couple of hours of sleep and leave very, very early to Cartagena tonight.
This moment at this very spot was surreal. Thousands of birds were flying through the sky around the island where no soul lives. Waiting for the sun to go down, we could gaze at the crystal clear waters surrounding Oriyo. We were supposed to drop the anchor in the first part of Puerto Deportivo Tomás Maestre, just before Cabo de Palos. But the so-called anchorage is in fact an old project of a harbor left abandoned. The problem? They left all the steel structures right there, emerging from the sea, creating a weird, inhospitable sensation of us sailing into a heap of ruins. Moreover, the depth indicated on the chart plotter was 1 meter deeper than the one plotted in our depth finder. We were so worried to hit the bottom that we didn't even thought of recording on camera. We just turned around and left as quick as possible and found a plan B. And then we ended up next to Isla Grossa. Night came slowly. The sun was taking its time to disappear behind Oriyo, lighting up the small island and dark clouds, still thinking about whether or not they would turn into a storm. The wind picked up, so did the waves. Then, the next morning, the thunderstorm is finally here, and it is pelting down rain all around us. Still hooked up at the buoy, we wait.
We kind of started to sleep at like, I don't know, 6 a.m. And when it was 3, we wanted to leave. So we woke up with the alarm clock, and at that precise time we got the first lightning, and it was a big one. And it was just the start of the gale that we were afraid to have on the sea yesterday in the end of the afternoon, because it was planned to arrive at that moment. And so that's why we stopped actually in the first place. and instead it just waited for like 3 a.m. this morning when we would like to leave. So we stayed here at the buoy, and actually the gale never stopped. Blue sky. So we got something like 3 gales in a row. We waited for a while because there was, at one time there was like one on each side of the boat, so we needed to know where they were going to. Now that the clouds seem to went away on the direction where we want to go, but actually it's still raining, we need to leave where we are right now anyway, so we are taking a shot and going to Cartagena. This navigation is probably going to be a bit sporty.
The thunderstorms kept going by, surrounding us, parading in lines, and headed toward the exact same cape we are trying to pass.
The problem is it's very beautiful here. It's scary but beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's scary. I hate gales, storm, or something like this. The wind is not the problem. The sea is not the problem. The problem is the
lightnings.
The lightnings.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, and you don't want to get one.
Yes, I don't want to get one.
After having spent something like more than 1 hour, maybe even 2, churning around with another boat, it's always a bit comfy to know that you're not alone. So we are 2 sailing boats actually, and we were just churning around to wait for the gale to pass away, and especially to know if it was coming right at us or back to the shore, which actually it did. So now that it's a bit lighter up in the sky, we are seizing the moment to pass this rocky point with the lighthouse and the southeast of Spain. That was between us and the city of Cartagena, where we are trying to go. Meanwhile, funny things with the other sailing boat, it's a catamaran. We kind of were checking each other what we would do, what the other would be doing. So it was like we were first in front of him and we were hesitating. So we just make a little turn around to hold it while the gale was, well, trying to get somewhere. And then the catamaran came in front of us, and then he tried as well, and then he hesitated. So we were following it, and then he turned around, so we were turning around as well, and then we were in front of it one more time. So it was like playing a game to know if which one could go first, and finally it's a bit comfortable when you know that you're not alone, and it gave us some hope to say, okay, we might be able to pass this moment and this place. So we might be able to all together, pass this moment, this gale and this place safely and just manage to do it.
Right.
And well, we were all just helping each other, but it was like a silent game.
We finished this really peculiar sailing along the coast in the south of Cabo de Palos with actually a soft wind and comfortable sea. While resting, we contemplate the landscape on the coastline, beautiful as always, and couldn't help but talk about this odd passage we just had made.
It's a little bit like a sad weather because of all the clouds, but it is a wonderful landscape with all these green hills and the seabirds, and well, we are actually sailing with the sails only, so this is very quiet and peaceful.
But we have no dolphin, no whale, nothing.
Not sea turtles. Yeah, but the hills on the shore are just gorgeous, and it's a bit like a Brittany weather. It's a little bit sad with all these clouds, but we also have a lot of light because the sun is just behind these clouds, so it's very quiet, it's very peaceful. And well, the landscape here on the shores with all the hills, the green hills, is absolutely, well, wonderful. So it's a nice and quiet arrival sailing to, at least, to Cartagena. We are doing our last nautical mile to enter in the marina in Cartagena. This has been a couple of tough days, weather-wise, and well, with the nerves as well. Well, you don't know where to go, if you can go, if you cannot, where the gales are going. We were surrounded by gales at one time, and it was difficult choices to make, and a lot of hesitation, a lot of wonders, and well, finally we are making it. It was well, every hard sailing, it's a little something that you learn from yourself and from your boat. But I think that now the three of us are just getting closer, a bit more than we already were, and we know each other a bit more, and we trust each other a lot more after 2 sailing days like this, and especially this morning. So that was something to live, even though it was a bit difficult, a lot of anxiety, but it was something that we well, you know, the sentence saying what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So I bet you can use that phrase for today, for this sail.
And so we are in Cartagena, another place drawing to a close these 2 strange days and nights we experienced together. Even getting into the marina under big clouds and rain, this moment tastes like victory. Thank you for watching this sailing passage and having shared this odd part with us. See you next time when we'll be approaching the southern point of Europe. However, not quite. Take care. Bye bye.